What's going on, guys? So today I want to share a pretty special eBay find. This is a knife that I've been kind of interested on and off for many years. I've seen them over and over again, and I finally spent the money to get one, just because it's kind of cool, piece of knife history. This is an old PCC fixed blade, simply called the Tanto. I think it was a model 750. So this was, Benchmade before Benchmade, when they were Pacific Coast Cutlery. And this was one of their popular fixed blades. Very cool design. This one actually has the rubber handles. They made a cheaper version with synthetic handles at some point. Alright, if I zoom in here on the markings, you can see on the bottom here it says Tanto by Kuzan, which is a very well-known knife maker. I want to say a sword maker in Japan that came here and did knives. I'm not 100% on that, I forget. But very well known name in the community anyway, especially back in the 80s when this was produced. So you see this was made in Japan, all right, Pacific Cutlery Corp, North Hollywood, California. All right, what's interesting too, you see of course the Balisongs logo on top there. But this knife has a bead blasted Hamon line. All right, you can see all across here, it basically has a fake Hamon. So this was just a really cool find. Like I said, I mean, I've been eyeballing these for a long time, but they get very expensive. Finally bit the bullet on this one. This one has a little bit of damage, or I guess you could say, I don't know, it's not even rust. It came like this. It's not like it was surface rust that I cleaned off. It's just, there's like a polished finish on here, and these markings here, I don't know, something happened with the polish. So probably, if I had to guess, at some point it might have had surface rust and someone cleaned it. I don't really know 100%. But then also these rubber handles, something was pushed on there. So there's an indentation line that goes there, then a curvature here. Okay, a little indent. But that's pretty much, all that's, quote unquote wrong with it. It's just a really cool piece of knife history. And I have to say, the sheath that comes with this was the original sheath as well. There's ambidextrous loops, which you don't see very often. So there's a belt loop on both sides, depending on, whether you want to carry it lefty or righty, which is really cool. But this thing fits like a glove. I mean, it is so smooth going in and out of the sheath. It's just, I don't know, I never experienced a sheath that was made quite like that. It's just ridiculous. It runs so smoothly on there, and it does retain it very nicely. Overall, very cool little package. This did come with some paperwork. It kind of explains it a little bit, so I figured I'd read that to you. So, it says Pacific Cutlery Kuzan Tanto Model 750, mint. Obviously, this is not for this one. It's not mint condition. Anyway, it says it was designed by Japanese maker Kuzan, who worked with R.W. Lovelace in the 70s and may now reside in Alaska. Overall, the knife is 10.5 inches long. The blade is 5 3/4 inches long from guard to tip, and 3/16 inches thick. It has a mirror polish finish with a Hamon, the temper line found on traditional Japanese blades. All right, trying to give you another shot of this Hamon. You can see this wavy line, how it's darker here. That's just bead blasted on top of the mirror finish. All right, so it's, again, trying to mimic a traditional Japanese Hamon line. What that was when you're creating your blade, they'd put clay on the edge, all right, so that the whole blade would be flexible and a little bit softer and, pliable, basically, but your actual cutting edge would still remain nice and hard, all right? So it's pretty interesting, but again, in this case, you're just going for the look. It's not a true Hamon. So it says it has the smooth transitions of a Japanese-style blade versus the sharper bevels of the American Tanto. The handle is molded rubber. The guard is stainless steel and is silver soldered to the blade. There is also an ambidextrous belt slits on both sides, leather sheath included. The knife and sheath are mint. Obviously, not this one. This might have been the paperwork the original owner got, and then from storage, because this isn't used at all. This is still brand new. There's not a scratch on this thing. It's just, unfortunately, a little damage from storage. I'm not sure what they did. Anyway, it says the knife is marked Balisong inside the butterfly logo, and Tanto by Kuzan on the obverse. So it says here the G Sakai Company of Seiki City, Japan manufactured 2,500 of these for Pacific Cutlery Corp in the mid-1980s, along with lower price version with a die cast versus molded rubber handle. All right, so there'd be like a plastic handle as well, which they made a little bit more of. I did read in multiple books that there's 2,500 of these ever made, and considering that they're 35 to 40 years old, that's pretty amazing to pick one up. You do see them. They're not like, I mean, they're rare, don't get me wrong, they're very rare, but they're not like unheard of. You can definitely find them. It's just a matter of what you want to spend on it. Pacific Cutlery was the second company that was started in California and would later move to Oregon and become Benchmade Knives. The first was originally Balisongs Inc., and it was in California also. Most of the information is based on information from Dan Williams from Country Knives. So yeah, I mean, that is accurate information on this, other than the fact that it's in mint condition. So again, the original purchaser of this knife probably got this paperwork, left it in a safe or something, who knows, maybe a slight mold issue, slight humidity, whatever happened, we got just a little smudge marks here. And then again, this was pressed against something, which is unfortunate because I don't know how to, you know, I don't think there's anything I could do with that really. It was years and years of it pushed up against something. But overall, I mean, it is a super, super comfortable fixed blade. I mean, obviously this has kind of a, you know, Japanese theme going on with it. Although you could use this for utility work. It's just, it's so cool. It's one of those things where like, I really just want to go out and use it. It's such a comfortable feel. It's such a cool looking knife. It has an awesome sheath system. It's just, you know, because of its collectability, I probably won't. It's just one of those things. I'm a user, but I have a collector in me, and there's always that kind of balance there. And it's like, oh, I really want to use it. Oh, no, it's collectible. Oh, this is super rare. Why are you going to go scratch it up and beat it up? So it's probably something I'll end up just fondling around a little bit, keeping the collection for a while, and eventually I'll use it as a trade-in or something. You know, someone else can enjoy it like I did. I absolutely love knives. I mean, with a passion. I have an immense love for all cutlery. When I get something rare like this, I mean, just absolutely love it, but it's all about the journey for me. You know, if I had, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of all these cool knives and stuff, for what? To sit in a drawer? You know, I'm going to enjoy it for a little while and I'll pass it on to someone else to enjoy. That's just how I roll. It's just what it is. But some knives that I think are super cool, I'll hang on to a little longer than others. But anyway, wanted to share that with you guys. Let me know down in the comment section if you happen to have one of these, and whether you do or not, what do you think of them? Do you think they're cool? I mean, I think it is just an awesome knife, and I really can't explain to you how buttery smooth this is. I don't know if you can, let me be quiet for a second, see if you can hear it. It's awesome. I really can't express that enough. And what's cool too is that it's completely retained in here. There's no straps, there's no Velcro, nothing going on there at all. Because it is, you know, vertically mounted, it's never going to fall out. It's just not an issue whatsoever. But it's like just perfectly form fitted, and it's not too big. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get sheaths that are just massive compared to the blade. It's just perfect. This really is a perfect, very, very usable, very, very comfortable. I mean, this is universal. Any hand size, any hand shape, you can grab onto that. And you know, the rubber, it's very, very hard rubber. It just gives just a little bit, so it's comfortable. Really nice. All that ribbing is very good for grip as well. It's just a beautiful knife. Absolutely beautiful knife, and a cool piece of knife history. So there you go. Just want to make that video for you guys and share this with everyone. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.